I'm going to Kerman by train. We're going to use a train this time. It's a change. The good thing is we don't have to do anything. We can just sit, relax. Iran's train system is quite decent. It goes from north to south, east to west. And it's cool. We get a scenic route. Oh yeah, I see a lot of things here. Actually, not much. Hopefully in the morning we'll get some scenery out over here.
The following is 4 days of my travels to see the province of Kerman, to get to know the rich history that exists in the middle of the desert, and I'll be traveling with a group of 700 tour guides as they celebrate a year's hard work. Kerman is located in southeastern Iran and is famous for its strong cultural heritage and many historic sites. Let me give you a figure, 283 sites and landmarks to be exact. But I won't be visiting them all, obviously. So I started off my trip by seeing the sights in Kerman. My first stop was Kerman's Jabalieh Dome, an octagonal structure that is unique, as it's built from stone rather than the usual brick, and from its architecture looks like a Zoroastrian building. I also enjoyed the group sing along their folklore music as we traveled. The main market in every old city in Iran is a must-visit. Kerman's Vakil Bazaar is no different. I went for a walk in the bazaar that dates back to the 17th century. This city is known for its rich oriental spices and handicraft. One of the sites in the city of Kerman is the Ganjali Bathhouse. This historic bath is now an ethnographic museum with unique works of architecture along with eye-catching tile work, paintings, stuccos and arches. But it's not all about that.
ببینید حمام‌های قدیمی در ایران فقط خاصیت حمام رو نداشتن. خیلی از اتفاقای مهم توی اون، خیلی از شوراها، خیلی از حل اختلاف‌ها، خیلی از گپ و گفتگوها توی این حمام اتفاق میفته. غرفه‌هایی هست که مخصوص اقشار مختلف جامعه است. از روحانیون، اشراف، کارگران، کشاورزان گرفته که حالا هر کدوم توی قسمت‌های مختلفی قرار می‌گرفتن، اونجا می‌نشستن. خیلی وقتا مردم می اومدن با اونها صحبت می‌کردن، مشکلی رو داشتن، مشکلشون رو در میون می‌ذاشتن.
One of the distinct features of this bathhouse is its exquisite tile work. For example, we have hafrang here in which they use 7 colors and is painted. But this one is mu'arrab, in which every single piece is put together like a puzzle. This is the city of Mahan in Kerman province, a city in the middle of the desert, and now it's famous for the Prince Garden or the Bagh Shazdeh. Let's go and take a look. Iran is known best for its Persian gardens, and these gardens make best use of natural elements.
The garden was picturesque. No wonder it's one of the Persian gardens considered by the UN's Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization as a World Heritage Site. The garden was built in the 19th century as a summer house for a prince during the Qajar dynasty.
Idea of Persian garden, it's important because from the architectural viewpoint, it's totally different from other type of garden. And also today, Persian gardens are not located in the border of Iran. If you search, in eastern side goes to India, and in western goes to Spain. If you have a Google Earth in your mobile or in your tablet, just look at this garden from up. You will understand the difference of this garden to others, which is located exactly in the middle of nowhere. That's the specialty of this garden, which is in the desert area.
This is Shah Nematollah Vali's tomb, an inspirational building dedicated to the memory of a 15th century poet and mystic. This complex has had many additions since it was built in 1436. This building is famous for its plasterwork and tile decorations, and 7 ancient wooden doors.
Tell us about how does it feel, you being a tour person on the tour instead of being a usual tour guide? Okay.
Yeah, you see, this is a really different point of view. Okay, for us, every day in tours is like being responsible for everybody. Okay, you have to manage everything, but being from a passenger point of view is a little different. Okay, you have to enjoy every moment, enjoy every second.
President of the World Federation of Tourist Guides was also with us in this trip. She said a huge potential exists in Iran and more should be done to cater for tourists.
I'm here less for tourism, more to support my colleagues and to start promoting this length of the Silk Road.
And off I went to our next site enjoying the route, listening to local chants along the way. One of the main reasons we came all the way here was to see the BAM citadel.
Well, obviously you have a magnificent area and sites that are unique and very old, so you have everything that you could use. So the potential is here. Landscape is here, so the varieties is also here. What you need is infrastructure.
This citadel dates back to 2,500 years ago, and it's still intact after all the earthquakes and things that happened to it over the last few years.
This fortress was much damaged during an earthquake that happened 10 years ago. And the reason for our trip was to see it safe again to come here and enjoy this historic place, and is considered a World Heritage Site by UNESCO.
This is a military barracks. The interesting thing about this one is if you stand here in the center of this so-called ellipse, the sound would echo all around, so this would be a way to alarm the other military personnel in case of war, in case of an emergency.
Our motto was BAM is alive. After that terrible earthquake, BAM really suffers, like all the Iranians. We write that motto in front of that citadel.
During our tour, I had a chat with the governor of BAM. He talked about the improved safety and vast tourism potential that exists in BAM.
ما در بحث امنیت بهترین شرایط امنیتی رو در شهرستانمون رقم خورده و الحمدلله در جایگاه برتر استان رو به شهرستان بم اختصاص پیدا کرده.
The good thing with places like these in Iran's desert is because of the very dry weather, we get very little humidity, and it keeps cars like these after decades still in good condition. So if you're a gold digger, this is the place to check out.
This all came to an end in Mahan, in a ceremony to honor the tourist guides and their efforts, calling each and every one of them the ambassadors of Iran. The head of Iran's Cultural Heritage, Handicrafts and Tourism Organization, Masoud Sultani Far, said Iran has become a safe place for international tourists.
واقعا برازنده ایران نیست که ما به لحاظ جاذبه‌های گردشگری هم به لحاظ تاریخی و فرهنگی هم به لحاظ طبیعی جزء 10 کشور 15 کشور اول دنیا باشیم، به لحاظ امنیت وضعیت خوبی داشته باشیم، ولی رتبه‌مون از جهت تعداد گردشگر و درآمد رتبه مثلا 50م 51م باشه.
Author Terence Ward wrote a book about his trip to Iran and the hospitality he'd been given in a book named Looking for Hassan.
I would argue, my father always said, this is one of the safest places that one can travel in on earth.
There's going to be a tsunami, I think, of tourism. And there'll be a lot of people who will ask that question. They'll say, I want to see it for myself. and they'll come and they'll see something completely different.
Pedram Fadadi for the Iran program.